Hey there guys, and welcome to another replay cast. And this time I've got another Cirque pleb. Not one of my own replays this time. This is Smurf. Yes, I know his name is actually longer than Smurf, but everyone just calls him Smurf because it's nice and quick to say compared to his full name. And today he's in the almighty Prius, the FV4202 Tier 8 Premium Medium Tank. One of the British mediums, and this thing is seen as being kind of mediocre. It's characterized by pretty poor gun handling, despite the gun supposedly being accurate. It's got really good gun depression, and it's kind of mediocre with the armor. You can pull off bounces with the turret, and occasionally the upper plate when it's properly angled, and something that's not over 150 millimeters in caliber is firing at it, because that is only 50 millimeters thick all around the hull. But the turret can pull off some bounces, but you've got this big turret ring on show that's quite the target. Anyway, he's going to be playing this match. It's a tier 9 match on Prokhorovka, so nice and campy from both sides. And it's a tier 9 match, but there's only 2 tier 9s per team. And just going to get into it just now. And immediately the enemy team has the advantage, as they only have one tier 6 light tank, but they also have a tier 8 light tank, whereas all the light tanks on Smurf's team are tier 6. And in place of one of those light tanks, the enemy team gets an extra tier, in fact 2 tier 8s. Yeah. So this is going to be really awkward for them, as, well, the enemy team have a much bigger health pool, especially since they have more heavies, and still have a decent number of mediums to go with them. And Smurf's team instead have more TDs. So this is going to have to be a little bit of a carry. And as you can see, Smurf is heading up the hill on the eastern flank. It's actually a much stronger place to defend from than to attack, because, well, as soon as you get onto the top of the hill over the ridge line, then you are very exposed. And this side has infinitely more cover than the opposite side. You can see there the enemy Type 59, enemy Prius, T32, M103 and Lova all heading this way. Meanwhile, friendly TDs, 3 of them are hiding down there in K2, which is kind of stereotypical for this map. With the kind of meta, I say meta, it's kind of more, what typically happens is one team assaults the hill and quite often takes it, and the other team camps in the corner, and that can happen from either side. Everyone is actually, well, it seems to be that people are really scared to kind of push the, well, go up the 1-2 well, kind of scared of tanks going up the 1-2 flank, because if they do manage to go up the 1-2 flank and win that flank, then everyone on the hill is screwed, which is what people are scared of, I think. Anyway, he's taken a couple of shots here. He's put one into the Type 59, he's put one into the T37, and that's been all his damage so far. He has bounced a couple of shots so far, one from the Type 59 and one from the enemy FV4202. He's trying to take shots at the Type 59 now, hoping they'll go in the upper plate, or the cupolas, but not having any luck here. Switching to fixed cam now, he's taking aim at the enemy KV4. That is a stock turret KV4, and he is easily bouncing off him, because, you know, Russian tanks. Meanwhile, one of the friendly MT-25s, in fact the only one left alive from that whole platoon, is complaining about the friendly TDs who are all camping the corner. Meanwhile, the enemy Type 59 has moved up and bounces harmlessly off a Smurf's turret again. And this Type 59 is not going to have a very good match, because Smurf has a friendly Leo PTA shooting up at the hill. This guy here is going to be actually a really good help to Smurf during his time on the hill. As you can see, he's putting in effective fire on the enemy FV and the enemy M103, while Smurf is trying to keep everything spotted, and it in fact puts a shot on the Type 59. And nope, Leo PTA gets the kill just before Smurf can pop over the ridge and put a shot in. Now this match is also pretty awkward since the friendly Indian Panzer is AFK. He's going to be no help to anyone until the end, and I'm not going to say any more about that just now. Now there's the KV4 again, bounces once again off I think it was the turret, or maybe one of the auto ricochet parts of the upper plate. Basically the KV4, it's the same auto ricochet parts as any of the other KV tanks. It's got the little plate that's kind of really well angled before the kind of flat upper plate, and that's probably where he's hitting. Another Type 59 there, he's looking for shots on him, not having any luck. Once again bounces off the KV4, this time the turret I think. Possibly the tracks, because that thing chews up tracks like chews up shots with its tracks like crazy. Now it's getting shots on the side of the lever, who's poked up trying to get shots at tanks in the middle, but has shown way too much of his side, including the side of his turret, and Smurf is going to take advantage of that, putting one shot in, and there is he going to get the second? Yep, there it is. So that's going to make sure the lever's going to take things a bit more cautiously with regards to the hill. T-32 has also been spotted there. Enemy T-44 also going down the middle. Gets a good solid shot on the side of him there. Enemy TVP-VTU also lurking around the middle. Smurf bounces off the turret of the enemy 4202, doing exactly the same as what that guy did to Smurf a while ago. Attempts to shoot the Lerva again, but that bounces off the upper plate. Enemy M103 also taking a shot at Smurf, but missing. And now the enemy team are trying to push a bit further up the hill. The FV is quite far up there. So is the Lerva, but the Lerva is in a bad position because he can get shot. And now the M103 is also trying it. It looks like he finally found his W key, but it's way too late. And he is gonna get, he's gonna get tracked by Smurf, and he's gonna get, he's gonna get shown why you don't push too hard up here. Smurf just retracts him so someone can finish him off. And then the enemy Prius does a bit of a YOLO move here. Smurf tracks him so he can get down below the ridgeline here. And the enemy Prius just trundles up to this rock here, I think hoping that he can surprise Smurf somehow, but instead gets a shot from Smurf's Rheinmetall Borsig, and then killed by Smurf. Friendly Rheinmetall Borsig obviously running the 150mm gun. Enemy ST1 still in the middle there, he's been there the whole match. Smurf now coming back around to try and get back up the hill. Enemy ISU spotted there. Gets shot by the Ferdinand, I think that was. I think the Ferdinand's running the 105mm. That's what that would suggest, that damage value. Friendly T-30 is for some reason trying to push all the way up the 2 line. Friendly Lerva in the middle as well. Those two trying to deal with the Type 59 there. Smurf is having a bit of trouble getting up here. Just manages. Those slopes can be really tricky to get up if you've got a tank with relatively low power to weight like this thing does. I still don't think this tank's in as good a position as it could be for the amount of money you pay for it, but still, it's a lot better than it used to be because it's got a much better top speed, but the power to weight is still sorely lacking, as you can see. 9 kilometers an hour uphill. While if you're in a tank with good power to weight, like for example the TVP VTU or the regular T44, the one that's in the tech tree rather than the T44-100, then getting up this hill would be pretty quick. And so he's going to try and go forward to try and help this MP25 out, but sadly the TVP gets a shot on him and kills him. And Smurf now thinks twice about that, but he stays where he is to try and get a shot on the ST1. And this is going to be an important shot here. Well, when he gets the shot that actually pens, which is this one, I believe. Yep, there it is. Now that makes the ST1 a one shot, so that means that literally anyone, as long as they get a shot that pens, will kill the ST1. That said, penning an ST1, especially frontally, is tricky in itself. Now, Smurf moving up to this bush here in order to spot the T44 and the TVP VTU, and spots the TVP. Trying to get a shot on him, but he's lurking behind the cover of the dead CDC, so there's not much to shoot at. But that one still misses. Decides to go for the ST1 again, but then as soon as the T44 pops up, he decides to try and shoot him. Now, there's a lot of cover there. All the buildings are still there. And does get a shot on him. The T44 did decide to stop for some reason. Someone else puts a good shot into the T44 there. Smurf getting the spotting for it. And is he going to get the shot on the TVP? Yes, he is. There he goes. And gets some spotting on him as well. I think from the YAG-88. Possibly the Super Pershing. He's also noticed that the T-32 is still there. So, I think the T-32 is all on his lonesome. So maybe I can do something about that. But he also gets spotted by the T-32. He doesn't want to be spotted right now. He wants to get the first shot off. So he's gonna get himself unspotted, and he's actually gonna return to the bush here, because having a T-44 on your side is not fun. Well, having any tank shooting you in the side is no fun. So, you know, he's going to try and spot him, as well as maybe get a shot on the ST1. Does not manage to get the shot on the ST1 and does not spot the T-44. So he's thinking right now, I think, I could probably go around and either kill the T-44 or the ST1. But then the T-32 gets spotted again, out of position. So he decides to turn around and deal with him instead. Since he's on low health, well, relatively low health, and is on his own. So he pulls up to these bushes here, and see if the T-32 gets spotted again. And he does. Puts a shot through the bushes. That was actually a high roll for this gun. Only 230 alpha on this gun, so he's got to put a few shots into things to kill them. T-32 pulling back. Smurf's trying to get him spotted again, but not having that much luck through these bushes. And there he is. Puts another shot into him. This one gets him spotted somehow. There's his sixth sense. And takes it from the T-44. Now that was a 389 damage roll. I think it sounded like a nice big shell. So that was the 122mm. So the T-44 has gone full derp and is using the 122. And Smurf has already run out of standard ammo. Is already using premium. So he has to really kind of watch his ammo count. Down to 8 shots of premium ammo and 4 HE. Bounces a shot off of the turret of the T-32. And now the only tank that's spotted on the enemy team just now is the IS-3, who is killed by the YAG-88. The YAG-88 does actually have really good DPM, so that was actually a slightly favourable position for the YAG-88. Ferdinand has been tracked and, for some reason, rammed by the T-44. Only 2 minutes left on the clock as well, so things have to go pretty quickly. T-44 does kill the Ferdinand, but Smurf does get a shot on the T-44. But it was a low roll, so the T-44 lives. Smurf trying to get a shot on the engine deck there. Sadly that one misses. The top of the turret is also showing with the T-44, so he's taking aim at that, and that one does go in, and that takes out the T-44. Now the ST-1 has been spotted in the middle of the field after killing the Jag-88, so Smurf's going to go after the T-32. Does take a hit from him, and misses his first shot on the T-32, takes a high roll in exchange for that, but then T-32's never going to reload in time, so Smurf finishes him off. Now there's 2 tanks alive on Smurf's team and just the ST-1 left on the enemy team. There's the ST-1 spotted. Now that Indian Panzer who's AFK, it's going to turn out that him being alive was actually quite helpful, because he's spotting the ST-1, and the shot that Smurf put into the ST-1 earlier was especially important, because that made the ST-1 a one-shot for Smurf, and he side on to Smurf. And, well, it's all over now, isn't it? And that's it. So Smurf pulling off, as you can see in the bottom corner there, 3,000 damage and 3,828 spotting damage, or at least 3,000 damage that we saw. So I'm going to just quickly switch these things around, because these are not the pictures from earlier. This was from the last replay, so let me just find my images of Smurf's replay. There we go. So here's the end plate. He got his ace tanker, he got patrol duty as well, because he did get a lot of spotting. I'm just going to quickly switch these other plates to the other stats while I am here. Yes, we're doing this on the kind of on the fly. I don't really want to do more than one take today, as I do have a lot of videos to make for the days that I am working, because sadly I am not a community contributor who has so many follows that I can make a living off this thing. So as you can see from the plate here, Smurf got quite a lot more damage than previously thought. He actually got 3,500 damage, and he ended up with 1,696 base XP. That is a really nice result in terms of XP especially. And it's not the best tank to get it with, but the gun does have the pen to actually, you know, do well. It doesn't have the alpha damage to do well, but it's got the pen, it's, I guess, the accuracy as well, and the shell velocity. But the aim time is still pretty bad, but at least the mobility is better now, so then it can actually, you know, get to places where it needs to be. And final plate here, if I just move it here. So Smurf made 59,175 profit after making 147,028 credits, and he did lose quite a lot of those purely because he was firing so many shots that he ran out of standard ammo and had to use quite a few premium shells. And he did also have to use his repair kit, his med kit as well, so that only added to even more, although his med kit did not cost him anything because he will have had spares in his garage already. So what's pretty weird is that, well, most of his shots hit, but only 19 of the 33 that hit actually penned. Mind you, I think a lot of those were on the Type 59 turret that he was fighting at the start, as well as the turret of the Lava. So there was that, and also the ones on the KV4. But in the end, that got him a nice 1,696 base XP, and since he's running a premium account, that got boosted to 2,544 XP. It was also his daily double, and because he's in a premium vehicle, he gets 10% of his standard XP before the double. So he ended up getting 5,342 XP, which is really nice. So I'm just going to switch back to this, and you can see exactly where he was penned as well. One in the hull there, one in the side of the turret. I think that one was the T-44. This one in the hull was the T-32. or at least one of the T-32 shots. I think another one went in his side, although I'm not sure. But that's everything from me, I think. Very, very good match for Smurf here. Really, really nice carry. Shows you just how strong the hill can be when it's actually got someone up there and people are paying attention to things that are going up the hill, and you've got teammates who are shooting things that go up the hill. It means you can kind of deal with whatever's there, and enemy team also did isolate themselves one by one to an extent, especially the T-32, the T-44 and the ST-1. If the ST-1 had maybe stuck with the T-32 then or the T-44, I think Smurf would have had a much harder time. But as it is, they didn't, and the ST-1 decided to go for the YAG-88, which was probably the reason that Smurf actually got away with this. But in the end, well played to Smurf. Shame to be the enemy team, but you know, that's what happens when you screw up. So that's all from me. I'll catch you guys on the next one.